Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to share with you guys my trip to Italy from Mumbai. This was the Mumbai airport, and as you know, it's a very beautiful city, but sometimes it gets too crowded, like this tree inside a cafe, which hosted a show of the first Hermes scarves ever to be designed by Hermes. Isn't that wild? Anyways, so I flew to Italy, got myself some San Pellegrino, wandered around this quaint town known for an Italian nationalist, ate some pizza. So somehow found myself on Via Mazzini, who I think inspired the fascists in India. Since I was traveling alone as an Asian person, I was rather disturbed, so I looked up where Mrs. Sonia Gandhi was born. And she, no surprise, was also born in a very quaint small Italian town. So small Italian town people somehow inspire a lot of Indians in either direction of the political spectrum. And actually, I didn't get pizza, I got that pocket thing.
Calzone.
The owner was very nice, and since it was cold, people just seemed to take that space as like a community get together. Anyways, I went back to Milan, laughed my ass off at these hilarious memes about the World Cup since Qatar, the host country, lost. So Chinese people were saying that the sheikh lost all of the money they invested in those billion-dollar projects. Then I went to Rome, and this is where I watched the Japan versus Spain game. And interestingly enough, Japan won, and the waiters were so happy for me because they knew I was from Asia. And the cutest waiter, he was probably just 20 years old, had the character I, which means love in Chinese, tattooed behind his neck. And in Japanese, it's also the same letter character. So I was pleasantly surprised to see that it was like a serendipitous moment. Speaking of China, the main purpose of this trip was actually to meet up with my Chinese friend Lynn, who works in Germany. She traveled from Germany to meet me in Italy, and we had some great moments together. But first, I'm going to finish my Rome story. On my way to that restaurant, which I did not intend to enter at all, a man was playing Save Your Tears from Another Day on his electronic violin, and I thought he was such an inspiration for me because I was also thinking about pursuing music seriously. He was buskering. In Hindi, we say busker, which means, I guess, performing for money. And I gave him some money, and he was also thankful for that. And then some guy who worked for that restaurant asked me to go in, and he really reminded me of my Indian friends for some reason, so I trusted him. And the restaurant, as you saw, was actually a little bit too fancy to watch sports, I guess, in general. So most people were not really watching the TV except for another Asian guy who was traveling from some other country as well. And he also looked at me when Japan won. But generally, the waiters were very cautious and they didn't want to like stir up a fuss in case like the Asians got it together and did something weird. But yeah, as you can see, Rome is such a vibe during the day, during the night, at the museum, at the Palladium of Gods, I think. Palace of Gods, Palazzo, or something. Anyways, my Italian was way better back then when I was studying and stuff, and my friend also relied on me. But now I don't even remember the name of that famous fountain. I just know that the fountain was also really romantic. If I ever have a significant other who wants to travel to Italy, I definitely would take him there and or her there and do the whole coin thing. But yeah, this time I was traveling solo. This is Piazza España and they just lost! Har Har Mahadev! Finally, I'll just close with some train scenes from Milan to Rome. I was in such a great mood, I didn't even notice how people were not sitting next to me because I was like, this window view is for me, okay? I don't care if you got the window seat on your ticket, okay? We're adjusting, and the Italians are also really flexible in this regard. I'm guessing my ticket was not actually for the window seat, but they saw me. They're like, okay, girl, you're coming here once a year, so you get the window seat. And in a streak of romanticism, I really understood European nationalism for once, because it's so beautiful against the sun and the bountiful earth providing everything that the people need. I was in such strong emotions that day. And from the bottom of my heart, I thank the humanists of Europe who opened their heart to all humanity when they were like, we're designing architecture for human use, whether they're Christian or non-Christians. And I really felt that love of brotherhood, sisterhood, humanity while I was traveling in this train. Shout out to Pasolini, one of my favorite Italian directors, who was a freak. He had an art exhibition in Rome, but I didn't make it because I went to the wrong museum. الشعر العربي. Very nice. Almost 8 p.m. here at the Hadrian Temple. Still looking for detergent to wash my clothes, but all is good. Tutto bene. Signing off, this is Adrian. See you in the next vlog about Torino.